Hello, Gary here from Pathways Homestead, and it's morning. A little later morning than I usually cook breakfast. We did some other things first thing this morning. Did our Bible study and stuff early, and so I'm going to get down here where you can see me. We're going to make Huevos Rancheros this morning, and I know that these are not authentic, that they are not, that if you, Abuela may tell you to make it different than I do, but this is how I make them. It's quick, it's easy, it's handy. And something I'm going to do different than we do a lot of times here is most of this is store-bought ingredients. And that's handy for some of y'all that's the way you're feeding yourself right now. That's not typical for us, but right now that's what we're doing, a lot more of that right now because of stuff with the garden and other things going on. So this morning, that's the way it's going to be. The first thing we're going to start with is my cast iron skillet. I've got it on a medium low heat. For me, that's just when there's not any yellow in the flames. That's the way my stove works. And that's about the right heat to cook a lot of things on. And I get a big dollop of lard. This is our lard here from Pathways Homestead. I get a big dollop of lard and get it going in my pan here. We're going to let that grease get melted down and get hot. I've cut a medium-sized tortilla into 4 pieces. See, like this, like slicing a pie, 4 pieces. We're gonna let our grease get hot. We're gonna drink some coffee I already made. Babe, did you get your tea?
I did.
Now I can watch my pan and kind of know when that grease is starting to get good and hot, but I'll show you another trick. Get a little water on your fingers, and when that sizzles and pops, the grease is getting good and hot. So we're going to lay our tortilla in here. So huevos for 2 this morning, so I've got out 2 plates. Our youngest daughter that lives with us, she doesn't typically eat breakfast. If she does, it's fruit or something. So, and she works nights a lot or early mornings. And so I just make breakfast for Cindy and I. And so 2 plates, one of them you're going to be able to see, the other one you probably won't, because I've got stuff scattered on the counter that I don't have to get out of the fridge. So I got that puffing up a little bit, browning on the edge. I'm going to start turning them squares over, or them triangles over. And some of my Hispanic friends or really good cook friends might be able to tell you why, but I brown one side of my tortilla in the oil, and when I turn it over and start to brown the other side, it puffs up really good, and that helps for what we're doing. We're kind of crisping these a little bit, but not quite like a tortilla chip. but we're getting them kind of crispy a little bit. I will use a turner here in a little bit and not just my knife. And I'm going to turn that heat up just a bit. I don't know if you can't really see it in the camera, but this one's starting to puff up pretty good. That one's puffing a little bit. Even that one's starting to. I'm gonna get me a couple of thin slices of this cheddar cheese. You can use any cheese you'd like. I'm using cheddar today because it's what we have, and Cindy and I really like it. We often use our homemade mozzarella, but today we're out, so we're using cheddar cheese. You can use queso fresco. You can use whatever cheese you like, and this is a really good place to put pepper jack. It works good in this. But today it's cheddar. Alright, so we've got those toasted pretty good. We're going to put them on our plate. I usually put them on there kind of overlapping each other like a butterfly. Now I will go ahead and put my cheese on that. And I go ahead and put cheese on now instead of topping with it because it melts in better. We're putting it on a hot tortilla, and I like my cheese melty. So we put it on that hot tortilla, and in a few minutes you're going to see what we'll do that'll keep it melting. Now those tortillas soaked up some of my lard, so I'm going to put a little more in my pan. You can use olive oil or some kind of shortening for this, coconut oil, but the lard is just the best. Bacon grease would be a second. Well, probably better than lard. We're going to put a little lard in here. Letting that lard get hot. We're going to fry eggs. These eggs are from our chicken house. There's a green one, there's a brown one. I just put a brown one in. Alright, a little salt and pepper on my eggs. And my cast iron's pretty well seasoned, and I've got the lard fairly deep, so these eggs don't hardly stick. But if you're having trouble with your eggs sticking to your cast iron, make sure it's well seasoned. But butter works better than lard on keeping eggs from sticking. Put butter in there, cook your eggs in butter, and it helps season your pan too. So once I get the white pretty well cooked, where there's just a little bit of it clear still on right under the yolk, I go ahead and turn it over. This one's in a cooler spot on the pan, so it's going to have to cook a little longer. Cooking 3 eggs today because I put 2 on mine and 1 on Cindy's. It's the difference in our appetite. Okay, that egg pretty well ought to be done. Yeah, that one's getting close. So I'm going to take it, put it on there, and that hot egg helps melt the cheese. Hot egg, hot tortilla. If you want to dirty 2 pans, you can be doing your eggs and your tortillas at the same time. I do 1 cast iron this time of morning. So we've got our egg, our cheese, and our tortilla on our plate. We've got our egg, our cheese, and our tortilla on our plate. We're going to take and put a little pecani sauce on there. Well, yeah, pecani sauce. Put this other egg over on mine. Okay. Put pecani sauce on it. And then we're going to put a little guacamole. It's just store-bought guacamole. Sometimes we buy an avocado and make some, but usually we buy guacamole or we just eat the avocado. This is really nice with just sliced avocado on it too. And then we haven't made any sour cream in a little while, so we've got a deal of store-bought sour cream. Put a little of that on top. Don't forget to turn off your stove. Guys, that's my Huevos Rancheros. It's not very authentic, but it's very, very good. And it'll sure fuel you for the day. Took me about 15 minutes to make that. So, you guys, hope you enjoy. If you get to try this recipe, hope you enjoy it. And have a good day. And I want you to remember that God made you special. And He loves you very much.